Welcome fight fans, it's Danny Glover from Fight Fan TV Live, and today we're joined by Dan Hardy. How are you doing today?
Really good, my friend, really good.
We're here at the press conference for Anthony Joshua vs Francis Ngannou. It's a build called Knockout Chaos. How did you feel that the press conference went today?
You know, I thought it was good. I thought it was a little subdued on Anthony Joshua's part. He sat quietly, he just kind of steered ahead. Maybe it's because we had the Fury one last time and he was doing karaoke and stuff. It was a very different press conference. I felt like Ngannou was a lot more confident this time around as well. He seemed to be a bit more, this is my stage, you know?
Yes, he came out in great presence with his national garb on, and he was interrupting even some people saying some things. He was like, oh, about, someone thought that, oh, he was surprised everyone, Frank Warren said. He goes, oh, I wasn't surprised. So he kind of made his presence felt. Is that usual for Francis Ngannou, or do you think that he's found a new lease of confidence?
I certainly think he's found new confidence on this stage here for sure. He was a little bit kind of taking it all in during the Fury build-up, and of course you don't really need to do much promotion because Fury does the majority of it himself. So Ngannou just kind of sat back and played the stoic, scary predator that he is. But this time around, I feel like his confidence is a tactic against Joshua. You know what I mean? Like him, well, I've done it now. I've done 10 rounds against Fury. I'm going to come in. I'm going to find your chin. That confidence from Ngannou is a good thing for this fight.
We heard His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh say that he was kind of favouring and wanting Anthony Joshua to win. Do you think that managed to get to Ngannou a bit, or do you think he doesn't really care and he's looking to upset the apple cart?
I don't think he cares. I think Ngannou recognises the fact that Turki Al-Sheikh likes the fact that Ngannou is the problem here, right? He's the cat among the pigeons, right? You've got all these heavyweight guys, all these champions and contenders, and then you throw a UFC champion there that's never had a boxing match. Like that turns it into a real spectacle. I think he's the head of entertainment, right? He knows how to entertain the people. I think that's a very clever move for him. I think they want the Joshua undisputed fight, absolutely, and if Joshua loses to Ngannou, that's not going to happen. But I think Turki Al-Sheikh knows the potential of Ngannou. That's why he's brought him back for this one.
So we know that Anthony Joshua was due to fight Deontay Wilder. That was signed. Was that meant to go on March the 8th as well? And what was the exact talks when Deontay Wilder lost? How did the Ngannou fight actually come to fruition?
Yeah, my understanding was as soon as that fight was off the table, that Eddie recognised, had a conversation with His Excellency that this is the big fight to make, and I do agree. I mean, you know, a huge fight, a lot of interest, kind of casual, general interest as well, alongside the fact that, you know, we've got the Fury-Usyk fight coming up. This for me is a catalyst for that pay-per-view, because a lot of people are going to be interested in where this guy goes, the winner of this fight. You know what I mean? I think their ability to build these events and link them from one to the next is very, very clever.
What do you think about Francis Ngannou's performance against Fury and what his chances are against AJ? Do you feel that he's going to bring back some respect and honour for mixed martial arts fighters? Because in history, we know we've had, Conor McGregor lose quite easily to Floyd Mayweather. We had Ray Mercer, an old Ray Mercer, knock out Tim Sylvia in 10 seconds. We had Shannon Briggs go over to K1 and splatter a guy. So MMA and, mixed martial arts type techniques have not really worked well against boxers in the past. And Francis Ngannou, what do you think about Francis Ngannou?
You know, I honestly think he did a lot for the MMA world in that last fight against Fury. I think there were so many people that absolutely counted him out, like he wasn't going to be able to get anywhere near him, that the performance that he put on has really validated not only Ngannou but also the MMA world. You know, that I think now anybody stepping over from MMA is going to at least give him the benefit of the doubt that they're not going to look as reckless and as chaotic as MMA fighters do, because they all think we just kind of windmill and swing for the fences and stuff. And I think we're going to get a better version of Ngannou, and I think we're going to get a better version after that. And when he comes back to MMA, I think his boxing is going to be on point, and that's going to be one of the main skill sets. That is a real improved skill set from his time doing this. The MMA world's got a lot to offer, but people also have to remember the MMA guys are always the ones stepping into the big fights, right? We're not. I mean, aside from James Toney, stepping into MMA and having those kind of performances.
Well, we have got Clarissa Shields, who has stepped into the company you're very familiar with in PFL. So I know she was talking about she wants to become a world champion in mixed martial arts. So what's the word on that?
Well, I mean, you know, you look at the people that we've been signing with the PFL. Of course, Clarissa Shields, everybody is familiar with. Savannah Marshall as well. Amanda Serrano. Like, we've got some really good female boxers coming over to PFL right now, and I think, you know, more will follow as well. The money, the exposure's there, and also the freedom, you know, to do what you want. Like, if you're an MMA fighter and you feel like you could contend in the boxing world, if you can generate the interest and you've got the right people around you to get you the opportunity, you might get that fight, and PFL won't hold you back from doing it. That's why I feel like we're getting some of the boxers coming and signing with us.
Well, talking about PFL and MMA fighters, I heard a rumour that David Adelai's brother is a PFL fighter. Are you looking to get him out and put him exposure? Because he kind of threw a decent right hand there on heavyweight British champion Fabio Wardley. So what's his name, and tell us a bit about him?
Yeah, that's the first I've heard of it, but I'll sign him up. And anyone that's got the genetics of Delhi can punch, right? I'll sign him up, and no doubt. And we also need to think about the heavyweight division. When Ngannou's got the undisputed heavyweight title in boxing, he's going to come back to MMA, and we're going to have to find someone that's going to fight him. So maybe I can speak to the Adelie boys and get one of those over.
So also, I know that One Championship's doing very well. Have you had any talks with John Haggerty? Because he seems to be doing quite well on the MMA scene for the UK. So have you been talking to him about maybe crossing over into the MMA world, as he's a great kickboxer?
Man, you know, Haggerty is one of the best around. He's amazing to watch. So skilled, so technical. I'd love to see him on the PFL roster. The good thing that One Championship are doing is the ability to move from one discipline to another on the same show. But we're not doing that yet with the PFL, and I hope at some point we do. But like Haggerty being able to go from big gloves to small gloves to MMA rules, that's wicked to have that kind of freedom as a fighter. And you know, if we can get Haggerty over at some point, I'd love to see him in MMA. With his height and reach advantage, you get some takedown defense, he'd be lethal, right? Lethal.
Yeah, so as we're talking about boxing and MMA, word on the canvases is that Khabib has been asked to come out for UFC 300. Is there any news on that?
I don't think we're going to get it. I think people are going to keep dreaming about Khabib coming back. I just don't think we're going to get it. I think he's made peace with his career, and I don't think he'd want to step back in and muddy the waters for Islam Makhachev. I think Khabib is quite happy where he is right now, and you know, it's time for some other guys to come through now. You know, I'd like to see McGregor on that event. I'd like to see Diaz back in the UFC. I love Masvidal, but at some point it gets to the stage where the younger fighters are going to take their place.
Well, Khabib is from Dagestan. We know that Arthur Beterbiev is, you know, a fellow countryman of his. If he manages to win the undisputed against Dimitri Bivol, would you like to holler at Arthur Beterbiev to come over to MMA, because them hands could be very lethal in them small little gloves?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I got Deontay Wilder to put on a pair of PFL gloves a few weeks ago, and you should have seen the twinkle in his eye. When you can punch, when you know your hands are weapons, and you put one of those little gloves on. Like, I often imagine what it's like to be Francis Ngannou putting on a little glove like that. It must feel like a I don't know, like a mitten. Can you imagine? Punch somebody with that. Anytime I've got someone that is a good striker, I always try and put one of those gloves on their hand, because then you can put that thought in their mind of punching someone in the face with it. I think we'll get some MMA fighters, some boxers over in MMA soon.
And final question, just give the people a rundown of the PFL cards to look out for on, is it Sky Sports you guys are with?
We're on DAZN.
Oh, on DAZN, sorry. To give us a rundown of your schedule on DAZN for the PFL fans, of MMA and boxing fans who can get more familiar with PFL.
Man, well, I mean, DAZN's a place to be. We've got, obviously, the PFL's on there, Octagon's on there, loads of good boxing on there as well. PFL Europe, we've got 4 events this year. We've got PFL Global, we've got the Global Championships, we're going to be crowning more world champions. Bellator, of course, we've acquired Bellator, so we've got champs versus champs.
Wow.
Lots of crossover going on there as well. So I'm not saying any more, because this week we're going to have a few big announcements, PFL Bellator announcements, and I'll let them, you know, release in due course. But I've already been busy this year already working on matching these cards. We're good to go. Any dates released yet for PFL to give? Oh, we're talking weeks away. We're talking weeks away. You'll need to buy PFL tickets for February and March, let me tell you that. Okay, thank you very much. It's Dan Hardy. He's joined us delightfully on Fight Fan TV Live. It's Danny Glover. And remember, guys, persistence beats resistance. You know where it is. Thank you very much, sir. Nice, nice.